Housing hurdles, well, that's correct. Soaring home prices and soaring mortgage rates keeping many prospective home buyers just out of the market. Jerry Willis has the story. How much do you need to afford the median home?
All right, steel yourself here. You need more than $110,000.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Dude. You need more than $110,000 of a salary to afford a house in the United States? That is appalling. Like, what do you do? Like, it wasn't that long ago where it's like you just made $50,000 or $60,000 a year and you felt like you're making it. But nope, inflation says, no, you still ain't nothing. You're still nothing, guy.
Kidding, right? A new Bankrate study showing that the required salary to make that purchase has jumped 46% in just 4 years.
Wow. 4 years ago, all you needed was a salary of what, $76,000 a year to afford a house? And you know, to afford a house, a medium price home, I'm talking about living in it comfortably. Because I can see $110,000, you know, you can find a house and just be not house poor, right? Where you miss, you know, you lose your job, you're screwed type of situation. Or you miss one payment, you're screwed. But today, $110,000 a year, you should be able to make your mortgage payment and be able to have an expendable income for savings for an emergency fund. 4 years ago, yeah, $76,000. I remember that was a lot. That was like, I remember like, I actually did make around that much money too, and I was doing really well. Man, it just shows that you make so much more money you ever have in your life, and you still feel much poor. Like all your accomplishments are for naught.
Home buyers only needed to make $76,000 back in 2022, and the issue? Widespread. You now need a six-figure salary to buy the average home in 23 states, including the District of Columbia. 4 years ago.
That's crazy, man. Okay. 6 states where it's super expensive, right? Where you need a six-figure salary. If I were to guess, 6 states. California, yeah, Hawaii for sure. Maybe Alaska. New York. Maybe New Jersey. And any more West Coast? No, I can't think of any. Oh, what else is an expensive state? That's 5. Oh, well. But now 23. I think the 23 states, it's because of all the Californians moving into other states, jacking up the prices of houses. My guess. I can be wrong. Feel free to comment on that.
That number was just 6. Mortgage rates, of course, have played a role in this, but a small one. But home prices have, by and large, kept pace with the needed salary to buy them, rising. The average home is up 42% sitting.
That is so crazy because now we have high prices, high interest rates. And you would think the high interest rates would push down the home prices. But of course, we have short inventory. And a lot of the short inventory is because a lot of people who have 2, 3%, maybe 4% interest on their mortgage, they don't want to move and pick up a house that costs more and a higher interest rate. You kidding me? That's crazy. Not unless they absolutely have to, like a divorce or something, right?
At $412,000. Now, even though the housing market may be pricing people out, people shouldn't be too quick to think that renting is the solution. Since President Biden took office, rents are up nearly 21%.
Since Biden took office, I mean, there could be a political argument to that, but I really don't want to get too political. But yeah, rent, I mean, you see it all over social media, like TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I don't really watch it that much, but there's plenty of people complaining about how their rent has gone up. And yeah, they might have got an extra $1 or $2 in their salary per year, but then their rent just takes that away from them. So it's just like, dude, I can't get ahead.
So where do you need to make the most to buy the average home? Some of these facts here are not going to surprise you, Stuart, at all. California at the top of the list, of course. You need almost $200,000 to buy the average.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. places where highest income needed to buy a home. Oh, well, I got California and Hawaii. Alaska's not one of them. It was Washington. Okay. DC, I should have noticed. Massachusetts, okay. Why is New York not on this list for places with highest income needed to buy a home? I figured it'd be one of them.
Average home there, followed by Hawaii, Washington, D.C., Massachusetts, and Washington State. And the cheapest state, Stuart?
Mississippi.
You got it. That's right. You need only $63,000 there.
$63,000 a salary to live in Mississippi. I think that's the end of this video. Yeah, looks like it. But first, you need people who are willing to move to Mississippi. And two, how do you get a salary of $63,000 a year in Mississippi, right? Only a very few jobs in Mississippi has it. I mean, Mississippi is like one of the poorest states, right? Next to West Virginia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to comment. Unless you have, one of the remote jobs that pays a lot of money, then you could just go and live it up in Mississippi. But you'd have to live in Mississippi. That's the downside, right? But this is crazy because what I wanted to get into was like how rates are still high and home prices are still high. And I love how boomers talk about, yeah, when rates were so high, I was able to afford a house. Yeah, you were able to afford a house when it was like barely $100,000 for a house with 7-8% interest rates. Now we're at like $400,000 with 7% interest rate. And I don't know how the average person does it. Like, this is so crazy to me. Like, I don't know how this is sustainable. Like, how the heck does housing prices go up with interest rates going up? Yes, I know the answer is always the supply, right? But where's the demand coming from? You'd think with high prices, there'd be less demand. But someone is gobbling up these houses. I can't imagine it being a lot of people because there's so many people I know who are just saying, or on the sidelines, like, I can't buy a house, so they're not in the market. I don't know that many people who are in the market to buy a house. It could be like those Wall Street investors getting these houses, right? Possibility. But a lot of it has to do with that people are just what they call gold handcuffs, where they just can't move because, again, they have a very low interest rate and they don't want to take on a higher interest rate with a more expensive house to move and all the closing costs and everything that's all involved in part of the moving process. It costs way too much money to do it right now. Now, some people would argue that, hey, just drop the interest rates, right? Once they drop, people are willing to move out. But if we were to drop interest rates now, inflation is going to peek its ugly head out again. And we'll have a higher inflation again. Because right now, the crust of this inflation right now is housing. Housing is like the number one killer of this current inflation, and it's not breaking. The prices of housing is not breaking. Oh, I think that's enough for ranting right now. So if you agree with me or disagree with me, please let me know in the comments, like, subscribe. And I do read the comments, so I look forward to them. Until next time, bye.